Detective Nicosia, would you please state your full name and spell your last?
Wyatt Nicosia, Nicosia.
And Detective Nicosia, where are you currently employed?
With the American Fork Police Department.
And how long have you been with them?
About seven and a half-ish years.
How long have you been a detective?
We are stepping straight into a courtroom moment where every sentence is quietly building the foundation of a serious homicide case. The detective begins with a calm, controlled introduction, stating his identity and professional background in detail. It may sound routine, but this is where credibility is silently established. Years of service, detective experience, and formal training are all laid out to shape trust. In a courtroom, even the smallest introduction carries weight, because before the facts unfold, the jury is already judging confidence, authority, and reliability.
About 2 years.
In order to become an officer, did you go through post?
Yes.
And when did you do that? Probably 7 years ago.
Yeah, 7-ish years ago.
And did you do any sort of particularized training to become a detective?
Just in and outs of patrol work. Yeah.
More experience-based?
Yeah.
Okay. What were your duties on July 12th of 2024?
At the time, I was called out and was asked to help with the investigation of this case.
Okay. And what were your overall duties? Were you on patrol then? Were you a detective?
I was in investigations as a detective.
Okay. And what were you asked to do when you were called out on this case?
I was told that an individual is going to be coming to the police department, and I was asked to interview that individual.
Okay. Did you ever go to the scene?
Later.
Sorry, prior to that interview?
No.
Okay. And who did you meet with on the evening of the 12th?
His name was Mr. Kevin Ellis.
And did you conduct an interview with him?
Yes.
Did you record that interview with your body cam?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state would move to admit State's Exhibit 89, the interview with Kevin Ellis.
89?
Yes.
Thank you. Any objection? No. Thank you. So admitted?
State would move to publish.
So ordered.
As the investigation shifts from formal introductions into the active machinery of a criminal case, the detective explains he was assigned to interview a suspect who was brought into the police department. This wasn't a field investigation at the scene, but a controlled station interview, carefully recorded on body cam for evidence. That detail alone signals seriousness. Everything is being documented. Soon after, the recorded interview is introduced as an official exhibit in court. With no objections raised, it gets admitted, quietly locking in a critical piece of evidence that will shape the entire case narrative.
If we pause that there for a second. I said the evening of the 12th. It looks like it might have been the early morning hours of the 13th. Is that?
Yeah, it looks from like the timestamp, it was, just past midnight.
Okay. And who's that individual in front of you?
At the time, that was Mr. Kevin Ellis's attorney. I believe his name was Richard Bernard.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
So we're just trying to figure out, obviously, what happened. I haven't been to the scene or anything, and just kind of wanted to get your side of the story and better help explain that. Obviously, you're here at the police department, so you're kind of being detained at the time as we're questioning and everything. So I just want to make sure you're aware of your rights. Obviously, your lawyer's already here, and he's present with you, but I just want to make sure we got all of our bases covered. So I'm just going to read this. Doesn't mean you're under arrest or anything, just means you're aware of your rights, okay? So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have the lawyer present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand your rights as I have explained to you?
Yes.
Okay. Having these rights in mind, are you willing to answer some of my questions?
Yes,
Okay. What can you tell me about tonight?
I was afraid for my life and I shot in self-defense.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
Under the advice of the counsel, I declined to answer.
Okay.
We step into the most critical turning point, where rights, pressure, and first statements collide. The suspect is read his Miranda rights, fully informed that anything he says can be used against him. Despite that, he agrees to speak and instantly claims self-defense, saying he feared for his wife's life. But just as quickly, legal caution kicks in and he refuses to answer further questions. This shift creates tension, half-explained truth versus legal silence. The detective begins framing the incident as a home intrusion with a weapon, setting the stage for justification versus accusation.
Okay. Anything else that you want to tell me that you would think helped in this investigation, or?
Under the advice of counsel, I declined to answer.
Okay. All right.
I can proffer some things to you.
Okay.
The victim was an armed intruder wielding a knife that was a short distance from him when he shot.
Okay. So just to clarify, he was an armed intruder with a knife.
Entered the house without permission. Took him and Tracy by surprise. Was clearly agitated. Was wielding a knife, and that's at the point at which he, and was to the wall, you said? Was afraid for his life and shot in self-defense.
Okay. And so who is, maybe some background to this, not about what happened, but who is this gentleman to you?
It's his sister's husband.
Okay.
They have been, he and she live in California. They're having marital difficulty. Tracy invited her daughter to come to her house and have a reprieve, get away. How long had she been there?
3 weeks.
The husband was making demands that she come home. Instead, drove out to California to pick her up and take her back. And that's...
So Tracy's the mom, right?
Tracy's the mom. What's your
Okay.
sister's name?
Katie,
Katie.
Catherine.
So sorry, just to clarify,
You're fine.
Tracy drove out to California to pick up Catherine?
It doesn't misspeak. It was Matt drove to Utah.
Matt is the victim.
Matt is the deceased, correct? Okay. So Matt drove here to pick up Katie. Is that correct? Okay, and then he showed up unannounced?
Picking her up is a polite way of saying it.
Okay.
His intent was to take her back, period.
Okay. And
He showed up, entered without knocking, without ringing the doorbell, had never been to the house before, and so was essentially an armed intruder at that point.
okay. And then did he have, when he entered the home, did he have the knife in hand, or did he pull the knife out when he was in the home?
Go ahead and answer that.
Under the advice of...
No, go ahead and you can answer.
Okay, I didn't see him pull it out, so I'm assuming he had it in hand.
Okay. Do you know what type of knife it was or anything like that? Okay.
No idea.
But you knew, is it Mike?
Matt.
Matt. Sorry, there's so many names. I'm not good with names. It's late at night.
That's all right. You would be Maybe at the pool, I'll be maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah. Matt, and you knew what Matt looked like? Because it was obviously your sister's husband.
None of
Okay.
many years.
Okay. Okay.
But again, emphasize, he entered the home unannounced in an agitated state, wielding a weapon.
Okay. And can you describe the agitated state? How was he acting?
Under the advice of counsel, I declined to answer.
Okay. All right. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna go take 2, take 3.
Takes as long as you need.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
We know you have a job to do. We want to help you do it and preserve his rights as well.
Okay. Okay. Give me a second.
Thank you.
The story becomes a full-blown narrative of confrontation inside a home. The detective outlines a complex family situation involving marriage conflict, travel across states, and a tense domestic background. The victim allegedly arrives unannounced, enters without permission, and is described as armed with a knife. That single detail changes everything in court interpretation. Was he a threat or just misjudged in chaos? The defense narrative leans heavily towards self-defense, while unanswered questions about behavior and intent create visible gaps. Each detail builds pressure, but not everything is fully confirmed, leaving the courtroom suspended in uncertainty.
Detective Nicosia, I think when we started that, it was about 12:08 in the morning. Do you remember what time Kevin arrived to the police station?
I couldn't recall that. I know when he did arrive, we put him in the interview room, and then his attorney showed up shortly after and then met with Kevin, but I couldn't give you an exact time on what time he arrived.
You know approximately how long he met with Kevin prior to you interviewing him?
I couldn't even,
And that's, if you can't, you can't.
yeah, I couldn't
Okay.
give you a time on that, sorry.
Did you take other steps? Did you have any other roles in investigating this case?
I did, yes.
What was your next step?
After that night, I mean, it was a few days following that is, we were asked to go, myself and Detective Wetton were asked to go up to the Ogden area and retrieve Rachel Jorgensen's phone.
And do you remember who Rachel Jorgensen is in relation to Kevin Ellis?
That is his sister.
Okay. And did you make contact with her?
Yes,
Did you retrieve the phone?
yes.
Did you interview her?
No, she declined to speak with us at that time.
Okay, thank you. I'll pass the witness.
Cross.
Just to be clear, Officer Nicosia.
Okay.
When we saw the body cam just a moment ago, you were following the attorney, Richard Bernard, correct?
That is correct.
So had Mr. Bernard already met with Kevin at that point in time?
I don't recall if I believe so, he had met with her, or, sorry, him. But I don't know why or who he was talking to from there.
Okay. And so you read him his Miranda rights.
Correct.
Is that something you learned at post?
Yes.
And as part of post, did you also learn how to interview persons?
Yeah, to an extent, the basic interviewing process, yeah.
Yeah, and you've done retraining as you've been an officer on how to interview both suspects and witnesses, right?
I don't know.
As the courtroom shifts from the incident itself into the investigation behind it, the detective is now tested on procedure, timing, and professional conduct. He admits uncertainty about exact arrival times and interview durations, but confirms legal protocols like Miranda rights were followed. The focus then moves to follow-up investigation, including phone retrieval and additional digital evidence collection. What stands out here is process over emotion, how evidence is gathered, reports are written quickly, and memory preservation is prioritized. In the end, the case is no longer just about what happened, but how thoroughly it was documented and legally built.
I don't know if there's any formal training that I can recall. It's just kind of more on the job experience and everything.
Do you take continuing education in your work?
Yeah.
And do you ever have continuing education requirements, like so many hours per year or every other year?
Yeah.
And what are those requirements?
From my understanding, we have to do about 40 hours every year, and then a certain amount of hours. I know we have to do like defensive tactics and arrest control and different types of topics every year. But I couldn't tell you the exact hours of those requirements.
Sure.
But I know it's at least 40 hours every year.
And you've been an officer for 7.5 years.
Yes.
40 hours is a lot.
Mhm.
That's a lot of hours. And so you do get frequent training, is that right?
Yes.
And during those 7 years, 40 hours a year, do you recall ever having any training on how to properly interview a witness or a suspect?
At that time, I don't recall if I'd been through the training or not, but I mean, we did, like, I've been through like the FIT training, which is like the interviews with children and everything like that. But I don't know if, I can't recall if that was before or after this case,
Okay,
to be honest.
all right. But you did follow the protocol of reading Miranda rights?
Yes.
Right? And as part of your process in this, you also had an opportunity to write a report.
Mhm.
And do you remember when you wrote the report on this case?
I want to say it was that following morning.
Okay.
Like, I remember I didn't sleep. It was, we interviewed, and then early hours of the morning, I typed this up.
At the end of the shift or close to the end?
Yeah.
Yeah. And is there a reason you didn't wait to write that report, like when you later had instructions from Officer Nordine or someone else?
I know because Mr. Kevin Ellis was arrested that night, or that morning, I guess, we were informed by our supervisors that these reports needed to be completed as soon as possible, and so we could get everything submitted to the county attorney to not delay the process from there.
Sure. In your training, are you told to write reports shortly after events?
Yes, yeah,
Are you encouraged to write them for better memory?
yes,
Is that your training, that the closer to the event you write your report, the better you have a memory of it?
hmm and with my own experience as well, right? If we wait too long, it's like I don't remember anything, so.
Sort of a natural thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. And you obtained, some while later, a phone record of a family member of the involved parties of this case, right?
That is correct, yeah.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Redirect.